everybody. We got another training here. This one is 3 secrets to finding your ideal client. This came from a request in the group. Real quickly, I tried to do this as a live, had some technical difficulties, so I wanted to record it for you. Really excited about this training. Thanks for kind of participating in some of the people that are starting to get involved in the group. We're just getting started. It's only a week old, and we'll continue to make more trainings like this to be helpful for you. Our honest goal is to make the best free content out there on the market. This stuff is better than paid content. We honestly have clients that pay us for this information and to help them implement it in their business. So if you are serious about growing your business, if you take these things seriously, then watch these trainings, take the action steps at the end, because you will see a significant impact. This is some deep stuff that has taken a long time for us to create, and we want to share it with you and watch your feedback so we can continue to make it better and better and better. So with that, let's dive right into it and get into present mode here. There we go. So here we go. 3 secrets to finding your ideal wedding clients. We're going to cover a few things. Number 1, the actual value that you bring to the market. This is big. This is a misconception. A lot of us think we sell something when we actually don't. Building trust through positioning. If you want to find your ideal clients, positioning is extremely important. Maybe you've heard this before, but how do we position ourselves? What are those key things? Well, we're going to talk about the 7 principles of influence. This is some really, really powerful stuff there in the 7 principles of influence. Next, creating content that solves problems and attracts great clients. And lastly, the tools and specifics of targeting your ideal prospects online. So we're actually going to show you how to jump in to the back end and target the exact person that you're looking for with what you need. Now, a lot of people have tried this. They've tried Facebook and Instagram ads, and they can't seem to work. Well, the reason is because they don't have the right system in place. They're just kind of like turning on a faucet with no direction for it, right? We need to direct those prospects towards something. And we're going to talk about the exact step-by-step process to do that. So, first things first, this is, kind of funny, but also serious, is you must promise that everything you learn in this module will be used for good and not for evil. There are some powerful, influential, and persuasion pieces in here. Our goal as business owners is to provide the most value possible to our customers and truly serve them. We're not trying to, hoodwink them or, disservice them by, getting them to buy our services if they're not a good fit for us. So that's not what this is for. This is to help customers who we know are a good fit for us and we're a good fit for them to make the best decision for them and how we can go about doing that. So we want to always, anything when it comes to marketing, sales, persuasion, influence, it's all about ethics. And so, if you know that you have a good service, if you know you're serving your customers the best of your abilities, these are all great tools that you can use that will be mind-blowing when you actually learn them and then implement them. And we're going to get you started right here today. So the other thing that I want to mention is 2 things. We want to give credit where it's due and also note that we are a digital marketer certified partner. If you're not familiar with Digital Marketer, it's one of the largest digital marketing training organizations in the world. They're thought leaders. They're doing some incredible things based out of Austin, Texas. And we have been a digital marketer certified partner for a couple of years. Basically what that means is we subscribe to a lot of their ideologies. We do a lot of their trainings, and we are certified to teach a lot of what they have. So a lot of this stuff is copyrighted, which we'll talk about a few things that are theirs and in combination with, with our work kind of coming together. So we wanted to give credit that, this isn't just BS that we came up off the top of our head. This is, proven in science, really. And a couple of the companies that use Digital Marketer are companies like Shopify, one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the entire world. They may be the largest now. The next one is Uber. Everyone knows Uber, and Infusionsoft, another major, e-commerce software. So and some of these are some of the fastest growing companies in the world, and they're subscribing to these ideologies which we're about to show you right now. So, first question: what value do you provide the market? So, I'll read it right off the slide here. In other words, why does your business deserve to exist, and why should a prospect buy what you're selling? So here's a little spoiler. They don't care what you're selling. They only buy one thing from you. Write this down. If you don't have a pen and paper out yet, write this down. This is extremely, extremely important. People do not buy products or services or features or benefits. I'm going to repeat that again. People do not buy products or services or features or benefits. I want you to think about that after you get a chance to write it down. One more time. People do not buy products or services or features and benefits. And you might be going, Dallas, what do you mean? That's exactly what we're selling. It's actually not. People buy things emotionally. That's why they purchase things. And the real thing that people buy is transformation. People buy transformation. Write that down. We'll explain it. People buy, this is your customer before, right? This is before they work with you. They're mildly discontent. They're probably confused. They're stressed. They are feeling a lot of pressure. Weddings are a big deal. They're very expensive. There's a lot of weight on their shoulders. And no matter what service you're providing, there's a lot going on here, and it costs a lot of money for them. And so they're feeling stressed. They don't exactly know what's going on. And they need your help. And they don't need your help exactly from your services will help them with that. But what they're actually buying is your ability to bring them to their after state, from their before state over here to their after state. So what that means is you have to have the ability to speak to their desired end result. So, when you talk to a prospective customer, let's give an example, they come to you. It's your job to find out where they are, where they're at, how they're feeling, right now. What's their situation? Well, you know what? We haven't found this yet. We're getting pretty stressed about it. We don't know, what the right thing is. There's a lot of different pieces. Mom has opinion, dad has opinion, all this stuff, right? Well, they don't need you to tell them, well, great, these are the services that we offer. We have a package that does this. We can do this for you, and we can do this for you. What they really want to hear is, we totally understand that. Weddings are not the easiest thing in the world to plan. They can be stressful. There's a lot of people involved. But here's the deal. We are here to make that less stressful. We're here to make your big day the most exciting day you've ever had. We are here to bring the joy back to wedding planning for you. That's what we are here for. We bring you from point A before. We're the vehicle that brings you to this excited after state. That's what we really do. And we do that by providing this XY service that's going to help you feel this way, right? That is what people buy. People buy transformation. It doesn't matter what you're selling. People want to go from point A to point B. They have a problem, and your solution will help them feel better. So, I know I'm harping in on this, but this is extremely important. I want you to start thinking about your customers. We call this the before state and the after state. So this is before their product or service, and this is after. And it helps to dramatize this idea a little bit to help them understand, but I promise you, when you start speaking transformationally, when you start speaking to their desired end result, right, you will feel, you will notice the difference of how your customers feel. This type of positioning will help you bring your desired, your ideal clients, because your messaging, all your wording is going to be to that person's desired after state. So if you understand their before state, so you need to first of all, you need to understand your client, your ideal client. Who is it? What do they look like? And most importantly, what are their problems and how are they feeling before they have our services? What does this person look like? And what problems are they having? Because we're going to begin to solve those problems for them, and we're going to show them how we can bring them from point A to point B. So, let's take a look at a few examples here. Let's start with this guy right here. These aren't clicking for some reason, so we'll start it right here. We're going to go to the not. We're going to keep pretty straightforward. The big guys lots of times are doing really good things. I love to model them. Here's what they're doing here. Notice the first thing that you see. They are speaking to the desired after state. The not a wedding planning for everyone. That's what they want to show. Welcome to your day, your way, right? Your day, your way. That's speaking to the after state. And what are they showing? They're showing happy couples smiling on their big day. This is their after state. They're showing it. Instead of just describing it, they're showing it through this happening. They're not talking about themselves. They're not, their logo's not big and center here. It's not a picture of the founder. It is these videos that are showcasing, and that is the idea behind these, is for the customers to imagine themselves in these shoes, right? They want to imagine themselves the happiest day of their life with their significant other, and that's what they're showcasing. Watch this. We'll go to Wedding Wire, and you're going to see a very similar thing. Let's find your wedding team. Search over 250,000 local professionals with reviews, pricing, availability, and more, right? That means we have a ton of things that are going to help solve your problems. We know these are your problems. And again, they're using images showcasing customers in their after state. This is by design. When you start looking at any big advertising companies out there, this is what they're doing. And they're doing it because it works. That's why. This is by design. They're doing this, it works. You look at all the commercials you're going to see on TV, you're going to see people in their after state. Which is extremely, extremely helpful. Let's go to another one. Simply Eloped here. A friend of mine started this company, and it's really cool. They do beautiful, intimate elopement packages. Look at that right there. Whoever said planning your wedding can't be a blast. We're here to make the whole thing fun, easy, and affordable. Look at that. Right to the after state. Keep scrolling to check out our elopement packages and start planning your special day. We're here to make your whole thing fun, easy, and affordable. They are speaking directly to the after state. Look at this. Right there. This is a nice, calming image. Here's the bride and groom over here, clearly so excited and happy on their, perfect elopement. This is what we need to start doing with our website. So if your website does not speak to the before and after state, this is a great test. If someone goes to your website, which is your home base, right? Does it speak to the before and after state? Are you selling someone on the after state, showing them where you can take them to? If you are not, then your ideal client, is going to be confused. Maybe they don't know that that's for them. But when they look at that and they go, yeah, that's what I need. And that's how you begin to speak. When you're on the phone, you do the same thing. When you are on, posting on Facebook or creating ads or creating your marketing materials, we're speaking to the desired after state. This is huge. Now, let's jump into positioning. So now that we understand what we're selling, right? You're not selling your goods and services. This is the first thing. You want your ideal client, sell them on the after state. If you've never tried it before and you think this sounds crazy and your business isn't growing rapidly, I recommend you try it because it's going to make a huge, huge, huge difference. If your business is growing slowly and you've never tried this before, it could possibly be because you never tried this before. Obviously, there's a lot of factors, but this is a big deal. So now that we know what we're selling the desired after state. We're selling them on this less stress, on this great experience, on making this special day perfect for them. Everyone says this is the biggest day of your life. Your job is to make that very easy for them, and that's what you're selling. That you're going to be a member of their team that's going to help them make that happen. They are the hero in this journey. You are simply the guide and the vehicle that's going to help them along the way. And if they can see that super clearly, they will want to do business with you. Now, also, the other note that I'm going to take, when you do this takes your value away from price. It takes your price, away from just your goods and services. It brings it to value, right? Now, you're no longer describing, oh, well, this is how much this is, and this is how much this is. It's like, hey, we're going to help you take from here to here. And, this is what we charge to be able to do that. Because you can't put a price on their special day. You can't put a price on the relief of stress that they're going to feel because they're working with you, or the amount of happiness and joy that they're going to get from working with you and seeing what you produce for them. So with that, now we'll jump into building trust through positioning. So again, you're crystal clear on your client's after state, and you're going to update your website and your messaging to reflect that. It's the first thing you're going to do. Then you're going to maximize the use of the 7 principles of influence. And lastly, you are going to make sure your web presence quality matches the quality of service you experience. This is pretty obvious to me. If you're trying to charge a high price, you're looking for ideal clients who, have more money to spend, and your website is low quality and it doesn't look up to date. If your Facebook page, if your personal profile, if the experience is ancient and not up to date and doesn't showcase quality, obviously people are going to perceive you as lowest quality. So I think that goes without being said, but I didn't want to miss it. Now, let's talk about the 7 principles of influence. Again, this isn't, just pulled out of my butt here. This is from a very famous doctor and scientist, Robert Cialdini. He wrote Persuasion. He also wrote this book called Influence. It's a national bestseller. I'll link it up here for you. Really great book. I highly recommend. If you are in business, you should be reading this book, because as business owners, we don't just provide our services. We sell our services. We market our services. We wear so many hats. And if the lifeblood of our business is sales, and then we should be extremely, extremely good at that. And you should be finding every way you can to level up in that area. So Influence is a great book. All the experts are referring to him. He's the experts of experts when it comes to influence. These are timeless things that you can do. Now, I'm not going to get into every single one in depth, but what I'm also going to do is I'm going to link an article that you'll see below that talks about these 7 principles briefly. So you don't have to read the full book, just dive in there. But number 1 is reciprocity. People are more likely to do business with you. They're more likely to listen to you. They're more likely, to do something with you if you've given them something first, because people do not want to feel indebted to one another. And that could be as simple as free content. That could be as simple as just helping them first through that first call and that strategy, where you provide so much clarity, so much information, excitement, that they're like, oh my gosh, this person really just gave me their all. And that's going to help. So if you're out there just saying, hey, look what I do, let me help you, you're not giving first, you're just promoting yourself. Now, if you say, hey, I have these tools, I have these resources, and I'm going to show you exactly how to create these resources to give to someone, that's going to massively increase your chances of being able to do business together. Number 2, let's see here, commitment. Basically, what this means is that once people make a commitment, like a small commitment, they're more likely to make another commitment and another commitment and another commitment. There is actually a really great Netflix documentary called Push, if you ever never seen it, by Darren Brown, who's one of my favorite magicians and mentalists. He's just overall the science of the mind. He's amazing. But basically, he puts this documentary together. This is a social experiment to see, essentially, if they could convince someone, a normal person, to commit murder. I know that sounds heavy and it's using influence for a different way, but what they use is commitment. Is one of the number 1 factors they use in this social experiment. So once you do one thing, you're more likely to do another thing and another thing, because people want to be consistent in their actions. So, you've heard those scammy people, say if they can get someone to say yes 3 times, they're more likely to buy. Well, that's probably true, but you never want to do it in a scammy way. What you want to do is get people to make a series of small commitments, right? Whether it's scheduling a time to talk with you, then getting on the phone with you, and then making that first payment, or getting the retainer and moving forward. So getting people to make small commitments is huge. Social proof. This one's pretty obvious in this day and age, but social proof is massive. People actually, they get their thought process, they get their ideas from what other people are doing. So lots of times, if you think about why you feel about something, it's probably because someone else felt that way. Maybe it was your parents, your significant other, maybe it was your friends and family, but you're like, why do I think about this like this way? It's because of social proof. We are constantly as social beings, we're constantly trying to evaluate our situation, and what we do is we use what other people think and feel about things to decide how we think and feel about things. This is why reviews, testimonials are so important. So you want to maximize your reviews, your testimonials, and anything you have like that, which leads into our next one, authority. We trust authority figures. They're inherently more persuasive because of the way they look. So that's why, people who are wearing suits or, we judge them based on their status. If we think they know something more about something than us, or we perceive them as a higher status than us, we're more likely to listen to them. There's plenty of science experiments. I could go on for days about the experiments on authority. But one of the things that you can do is you can show your authority on this. And this doesn't mean puffing your chest up and being like super awesome. This just means being an expert in your field. Explain to people, hey, I've done this thousands of times. This is how it goes. You're an expert in this area, and you can explain that to them and explain, and show them that this is your industry. This is your ballpark. This is your domain. And when they can feel that, they're much more likely to do business with you. Liking, pretty simple. Make friends. People who like you are much more likely to do business with you. And how do you get people to like you? You don't BS them. You don't say things you think they want to hear. One of the number one ways you can get people to like you, number one, is being genuine, being yourself. People's, BS detectors are very, very strong. But number two is show genuine interest in them. People's favorite topic is themselves. They love to hear their own name. It's the number one word. It's people's favorite word. It's actually, there's a study on it. Your favorite word is your sound of your own name. It is, you love hearing that, and you love that people take interest in you. So, if you don't have if you're one of those people that like, I don't like people, you're probably in the wrong business. You should go somewhere else. And you probably shouldn't even be watching this training. But if you genuinely care about people and you like people, it's not that hard to show a genuine interest in them and learn about them and learn about their background and all of these things. And by doing that, people gain a liking towards us. Now, let's talk about the next one. Scarcity. We see this all over the internet. Red timers, limited quantities available, only so many left, right? Sales. This is why sales work, because there's limited time available in sales. This is a great thing about the wedding industry. There's limited dates available. There's limited dates. So if you don't get it, if they really want to work with you and they don't want to miss out, then there's scarcity already built into this industry. And we talk about false scarcity. That's when you make something up that's not actually true. That's not cool, right? False scarcity is not cool. But real scarcity, there's only so many dates left. It's good to showcase, hey, we need to take some action here because there's limited dates available. And when we book up, we book up. We can't go back on this. So it's important that we make this retainer or we sign this contract or whatever it might be. Lastly is unity. People want to feel unified. They want to feel connected with you. So this kind of goes back a little bit to liking and things like that. But the idea of unity, that if you have a connection with this group somehow, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a high school, maybe it's a sport that you play together. If you connect on a certain level where you can, put yourself in a group that they connect with, people are and you can show that you really align with that person in that way, people are much, much more likely to be influenced by you. So this is just a brief synopsis. I highly recommend that you go read this article that's attached and then read the book. If you don't like to read, listen to audiobooks, Audible. You can get this for free if you're not on Audible right now. It's definitely worth adding to your list. I have a few examples that I share in here. The shed at Dulwich is a really great example. If you haven't heard of the shed at Dulwich, I highly recommend you look it up. Basically, this dude named Uba Butler from the UK created a fake restaurant, and then he made it the #1 rated restaurant on TripAdvisor, and then charged people a whole bunch of money to feed them microwavable food. And it's hilarious. There's a video, there's an entire article. He shows you exactly how he did it. And this just goes to show that, all of these principles of influence went into play, some of them more heavily than others, such as social proof. And he was able to create the #1 rated restaurant on TripAdvisor in the UK, in London, which is huge, right? How many restaurants are in London? And he created the #1. Some kid out of his little studio shed. It was literally a shed that he was living in. So I highly recommend you check out that article. It is super, super fascinating. So now let's talk about creating content that solves problems. I'm sure that you are aware of this because you probably do it too, but 97% of purchasing decisions are starting on the internet. 97%. That means everyone is going somewhere to research something before they actually decide to buy it. Now, here's the interesting part. Less than 6% are happening on the internet. So that means they're getting on the phone call, or they're going in, or they're doing something, right? This is a great example for you. So if people are doing their research, right, they're going online, they're checking things out, why wouldn't you be that resource for them? Why wouldn't you give them all the information they need to know about the outside venues, the indoor venues in your area, the checklist to be set up for your wedding, a budget calculator, right? All this information that they want to know, which we've talked about this in another training, but all these purchasing decisions are starting on the internet. You need to be out there. You need to be out there providing good information. That's how you become an authority. That's how you get attention. So it's extremely important that we create valuable, driven content that identifies your customers before state and shows them how you can help them reach their desired after state. So that same idea that we talked about in the beginning, the content that we create should say, hey, are you nervous about your wedding? Here is a simple step-by-step checklist to make sure you have all your ducks in a row for the wedding. It's going to make you feel less stressed. It's going to make you feel more excited, and it's going to give you clarity on your wedding planning. Come over to my website and check it out. I have it here for you for free, right? That's valuable. That's going to attract some people who are looking to have their problem solved. You're giving first, right? It's extremely valuable. So this is what most people are doing. I see it in the Facebook groups. I see it everywhere. Hey, look at me. This is what I do. These are the services I provide. And this is working a little bit. That's why most people are doing it. Like, this works, but not like it should. That's not how our approach should be. This is what we should be doing. And these are a few slides that you may have seen in a previous training. And we're going to link that training here because we don't have time to go into depth about how to create this great content. But this is what you should be doing. Perhaps I could be of some assistance. That's what you say. Someone walks into your store, you don't say, hey, what can I sell you? You say, hey, how's your day going? What are you looking for? How can I help you? Can I be helpful for you, right? Perhaps I could be of some assistance. And for some reason, when we're online and we're not in front of people, we act totally different, which is not how it should be. So your goal with this content should be, #1, provide actual value. Actual value. This doesn't mean it's some crappy listicle that people don't care about. It should give them value. It should help. It should start them on their process from their before state to their after state, right? It should solve a problem for them or help answer some questions. And then it should also build trust and show that you are the expert. Again, building authority. You can kind of see how all of these pieces are coming together. And if you're getting lost on this, message us. Let us know. I will personally help you through this idea because it will change your business. Okay? So we're going to create content that provides actual value. It solves problems and answers questions and builds trust. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to show you exactly what it is right now. It could be a guide. It could be a blog. It could be a calculator. It could be a template. It could be some sort of video. For example, here's one that we created that was creating leads on an average of $5 per lead. People were getting name, email, phone number inquiries for $5 a lead because of this article. And consistently, like a lot of them. Here are 7 things you need to consider before you buy an engagement ring. Does that solve problems? Yes, because buying an engagement ring is scary. They cost a lot of money, and diamonds are confusing. How do you know how much value they are? What do I need to be looking out for? I have no idea. And lots of people don't want to go look dumb and go into the store and start asking those questions right away. Maybe they do, but they'd rather educate themselves a little bit beforehand. Well, you go into that article, it's very valuable. It gives them really good information, and they're on the website. They're checking things out. They're getting extremely good information, and this jewelry company is becoming the authority now, right? And then it starts getting a lot of engagement on social media, where we're getting more and more social proof, right? As I said, the big dogs are doing this too. If you go look at it, all the big companies are doing because they know what works, right? 10 things to know before you go wedding dress shopping. Wedding dress shopping is a big deal. I definitely want to know these things if I am going to go buy a wedding dress. And here's another one. Good tunes only. Don't make these mistakes at your wedding, right? There's music mistakes. Everyone's been to a wedding where the music sucks or something has happened or the DJ is no good, right? And I can tell you what, that's a couple's biggest fear, to make those mistakes. So obviously they're playing to this idea. The Wedding Wire, the best places to propose in Dallas-Fort Worth. I think that this is an incredible idea, especially if you're a local business. If you want to compete with some of these big people, if you can be an expert in your local area, people are going to really find you as an authority. So I wanted to give this idea, if you can do something that's locally driven, that will be extremely, extremely valuable for you. Another one, here's a video. Time to tackle your wedding budget. And they do a whole video on it, right? So you'll see the link. We did a whole training on exactly how to create this type of content, how to search to find it, where you can find it, what it needs to entail. Much more in-depth training. We already did it. Go ahead and take a look at it. You should see the link around here somewhere for that. So go check out that social media content training. This is going to be a huge piece of your business that you will see will provide so much value to your customers, and you will become an authority. The main reason people don't do this is because it takes time. But once you build up that content, you can continue to use it and use it and use it, and it lives on forever. And you can just update it or things like that. But if you're not creating valuable content, not little BS stuff that people don't care about, but you're solving real problems that people actually care about, if you're not doing that yet, start doing it. If it's not in combination with all the other things that we're about to teach, just start doing it. It's going to increase your SEO. It's going to increase your authority. It's going to give you materials that you can use to go give to people. Maybe you're at a bridal show. Hey, here you go. Here's a physical copy of this exact thing. Hey, guess what? We actually created an article on that because everyone, this is such a big problem. We created a step-by-step guide to walk you through it. Would you like me to give that to you? Yeah, I would love to. Okay, perfect. What's your email and your phone number? I can text it to you and send you a quick email. That would be great, right? It makes that conversation so much easier. So let's talk about how to target your ideal prospects using Facebook ads. Now, this is going to be a super micro mini tutorial here because this is a very powerful program, but here's the deal. If you're just boosting posts, I have a joke that boosting a post is a sin. This is, you basically, you're just doing something and just putting money behind something and you have no idea where it's going. You're just shooting it out to the air. What you need to do is you need to go create that content that we just talked about. You're going to create that, right? Maybe it's the ultimate wedding checklist to make sure, you are not wasting money and your big day is stress-free, right? We have this checklist and we're going to give it out for my local area, right? Then we're going to go to the back end of Facebook, business.facebook.com. I'm going to jump out right now and show you exactly what that looks like. So business.facebook.com, yours won't look like this. We manage obviously a lot of ad accounts here for a lot of different clients. So yours won't quite look like this. And we'll go to our test ad account here. So you went to business.facebook.com. Again, if you have never set this up before, the link is down there on how to set this up. Where you are right now is you are in the back end of Facebook. This is the back end of Facebook. This is what it looks like. This is where all the magic happens. And we're going to do future trainings on Facebook ads and stuff like that, but this is very in-depth stuff, so I just wanted to give a high-level overview. Let's do an example here. We're going to go ahead and click Create Campaign. And we can see here we have a few goals they're going to ask us about. Do we want brand awareness? Do we want traffic, engagement, video views, conversions? Because what's going to happen is they're going to optimize for whatever we decide we want to do. But what we want to do is we have our checklist, right? We want to set, and that checklist lives on our website, so we want to send people to that checklist. We're going to go ahead and click traffic. And we're going to name it just sample checklist campaign. And then we're going to go ahead and click continue. You can see on the side here. Now, we're going to do just a very brief setup of this. So if you have questions, let me know. But we live here in Boise, Idaho. So I'm going to put Boise. Oh, that's not how you spell Boise. Boise, Idaho, United States. Let's just go plus a 50-mile radius. So, right, 50 miles within Boise. This is kind of where we service people. Now, you can see here I have Boise. This is my location. I have 570,000 people who are 18 to 65, right? And if I were to spend, let's see my budget, $20, right? $20. Let's even put $10 just to show you how low it goes. $10, I could reach 1,500 to 4.2 thousand people every day, and I could get 8 to 32 clicks every day, right? Now, we don't just want to reach anybody in Boise. Let's just say we want to focus on people who are engaged. So I type in engaged. Look, relationship status. That means they told Facebook that they're engaged, right? When people get engaged, they put it on Facebook so they can share it with everybody. And you can see here, description, people who listed their relationship status as engaged on their Facebook profile. Boom. 11,000 people right now in this area are engaged, and we can target them. And we could hit almost 20% of them in one day with $10. 20% of them in one day. It means we can hit the whole market in a week. Everybody who's engaged can see what we have and the value that we're giving. That's crazy. Look at just the women alone who are making a lot of the decisions in most cases. 5,700 people. You can continue this process here to go ahead and create ads that direct your content right at the people that you are looking to connect with. It is a walkthrough, step-by-step program. It's going to show you how to do this. It's going to, you just go step by step through it. That is how easy it is. You are able, we'll go back to traffic here. Look at that. Now, let's reimagine our situation one more time. We have understood that we are selling transformation. We're selling before state to after state, right? We've created content that's actually going to help people out. Then we're going to put that content right here, and we're going to even pay $10. We can even pay $1 a day or $5 a day, right? And then we're going to send it right to the people who are engaged. Imagine how many people you can connect with on that content. And if your messaging is right, then they come to your website. They see your positioning. They see your reviews. This is exactly how you get the exact ideal clients that you want. And we didn't just make this up. This isn't just, make this up, by the way. This works in any industry because this is built in human psychology. We give value first, and then we target these people. The technology is here. The tools are here. The real question is, do you want to do the work? Do you want to jump down and start creating content that's helping people? If you don't want to do that, then you can stay in your current situation. Because if your current situation is fine and you're happy where you're at, then great. There's no problems. But if you aren't where you're at, usually as small business owners, we have families to feed. We have, things we need to take care of. And ultimately we have goals, most of us that are business owners, to grow to next levels and next height. Well, this is exactly how you do that. And if you want to, you need to start creating content. You need to start speaking to people's before and after states. And you need to start using the tools and technology that are available to you. There's no excuse, really. This is a full-blown training, plus the other trainings on creating content. If you literally take this into action right now, you will start seeing bookings right away. You will. So, with that, let's see what else we have in the rest of our presentation here for this week. Recap for you. The 3 simple secrets. We told you 3 secrets. Here they are. And we just explained them in depth. Positioning. How do you get positioning? By selling to their before and after state, right? And by using the 7 principles of influence. That's how we create positioning. We want to create the position that we want to be in. So we are the experts, the authority that's going to help take that person from where they are to where they truly, truly want to be, right? We've established our position. Now we're going to create valuable content, things that are going to help them move, get started in that process, right? And then show them that, hey, we are the expert. Hey, we have all this valuable information. And lastly, we're going to target them using technology that's out and available to you. It's those 3 simple things. Now, again, simple does not mean easy. Simple does not mean without work. Simple means simple. So if you want to get started on this, I would love to know what results you have. So share those with us. We'd love to hear so that we can continue to build out this content and create more value for everybody. So take action. Go adjust your messaging and fix your positioning. Go through all of your content. Go through your website. Are you speaking to the after state, or are you talking about yourself and your goods and services? People don't care about that. They care about your ability to take them from point A to point B. Start creating content. You're not going to be great at it at first, but you're going to get better and you're going to get better. And get help from people and talk to your previous customers, your clients, talk to your prospects, see what you could create for them. And then jump into Facebook Ads Manager. There's a link in there, business.facebook.com, on how you can set all this up. I created a link so it takes you a step-by-step on how you can set it up. There we have it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in again to another training. We look forward to creating more content for you.